Hello Libra, this is going to be your January to February reading for 2020. If you are returning, hello again friend, thank you for coming by. If you are new, welcome. My sensitive Libras, you are my last reading for the day because I have no more voice left. And I know I usually keep some of you waiting a little bit longer when I put the readings out, so I'm trying to get a few more out a little bit earlier. If you've been here a while, you know that when this sweater comes out, I'm usually coming down with something, or I have something. But just feeling a little under the weather, and I think my voice isn't as strong today. Libra, your cards just want to keep going. They don't stop in a little while. Nope, they're almost ready. Almost. I did a blooper reel, and I think I had it up for a day. When I watched it, I talked about this when the cards don't cooperate. It's probably better that I took it down, because when I laugh, I laugh, like, you know, I am enjoying myself, and I think if you had headphones in, that probably would have lasted about 10 seconds. Guys, your cards, let's cut them and try one more time, and then if not, I think we'll just pull it. Alright, let's pull it. Let's pull it, my dears. Libra, how is your new year starting out? Are you guys having fun yet? Are you just doing your whole revamp of the last year and thinking about how you want to? This happens every time when I pull for everybody. The same cards keep coming up no matter how much I shuffle them. Alright, let's see what we have here. Libra, I think there are some concerns for you. I think you're wondering if you're going to be okay. You may be feeling the rumblings of some problems in your relationships. Maybe even some insecurities about the other person working on themselves, and you are not quite keeping up with that. You may see them growing and changing, and your reaction to that, for some of you, is to sort of poke them a little bit and see if they still care or how they feel about you. I'm seeing some of that happening. Some of you may be worried that this person will move on without you and leave you behind. They may want something more. That they may find someone better in your mind than you are. Not that they think that, but that's what I'm seeing. And that you will sort of be in a position in the relationship where they are over you emotionally. So instead of you being equals, they now sort of have you under their thumb, and I think that's very frightening for some of you. It's really putting you in a really odd headspace, and I think you're thinking about it. You know, a lot, this happens during the new year. Some people are going forward with their goals, and then some people just, they set unrealistic goals, they don't hit them, and then they feel really bad. So if you've done that and you see them moving ahead, you may start to feel that the energy in the relationship is very uneven. You're probably then behind that thinking, well, how do I keep this person at my side? How do I make myself worthy? And this really is a safeguard for your own feelings, because then you feel that you are not at risk of having them put you in a place where there's a breakup. I think some of this is driving this other person, though, to go and talk with their family or their friends, and kind of, in other words, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're going crazy, you're kind of pushing them a little bit, and then they're going to their friends and family saying, what is going on with my partner? They're really kind of acting in a way that I don't really like. It's not really that great. And so it's a feedback loop. Then they're coming and saying, oh, well, that's terrible. Maybe you should break up with them, or maybe you should take some time apart. And so it's becoming this self-fulfilling prophecy. Be very careful, Libras. If you do this too much, or if you have done it before, this person may hit their limit. I think, too, for some of you, you feel that they have wronged you, which is, it almost gives you a feeling of that you have the right to sort of give it back to them a little bit. You're thinking of every little time, maybe they didn't show up on time, they forgot an anniversary, they didn't introduce you when somebody walked up, and you feel that in the back of your mind, I think you're doing that just to justify what's happening. Be careful, Libra. This is a pattern. And again, so you may go out with some friends and try to get your mind off of it, and then they're giving you feedback. So this is a problem, because the other person is hearing from their people, yeah, you're right. You're hearing from your people, no, you're right. And so this is a dangerous situation, because there's so much chatter going on that you guys may get overwhelmed. It's definitely not going to achieve what you're looking for it to achieve. This person may go on, and there may be a breakup, or there may be a separation, and they'll feel just fine about it, and you will be the one left out in the cold and really struggling. All because you didn't communicate openly about what you were feeling. Libra, for some of you, it may be time for you to get back into something that you were passionate about, maybe you had to leave behind, or to just get something new. I think it's time for some of you to separate emotionally. I'm not telling you to physically separate from the person. I'm just saying get a little bit of distance there so you can breathe and see it for what it is, and maybe deal with some of the insecurity around this. It will put you in a much better place. I don't see this. The relationship has the potential to go far, but you are really going to have to sit down and think about where you are. You're really going to have to stop and look the situation over and decide if it's time to have a really vulnerable conversation with this person or not. If they're trying to give you support and trying to pour some of their love into you and making suggestions about maybe how you can better yourself, you may have to remain open to that. It may be a gentle nudge. I think for some of you, this is so scary, you just want to run screaming into the hills. Because then, if you were to achieve something and get to the point where you were better, and then everything still fell apart, or you still had these insecurities, for you, there's no, like, you've hit the ceiling, there's nowhere else to go. And I think for some of you, you're really fragile right now, and you really have to think about the people you're surrounded by. For some of you, they are very different. Your friend group is comprised of people that have very different personalities. So this is confusing you, and it gets so overwhelming for some of you Libras that you don't want to deal with it. You want to run screaming away. The problem is the place to which you are running is filled with nothing. It's not. There's not a solution there. The relationship doesn't fix itself. There's nothing like that happening. So you want to be really careful about that. Yeah, there's a lot of I want to run away. But you would take the pain with you. You would carry this pain with you. So you have to understand that that's not the solution. You kind of have to face it head on. Or maybe at least have a really, like I said, an honest and vulnerable conversation with this person about where you are in terms of your headspace. So Libra, as always, thank you for stopping by.